Hi everybody, my name is McKeon Mall. Welcome to my first ever Scream franchise tier list. As you can see right now on screen is my tier list. We have categories that are: what's your favorite scary movie? Which would be things like, in other words, it means that these are my favorite scary movies. These are among my favorite scary movies of all time. Then, see this one right here? That one is my essentially S tier. And that essentially, it means that these are my favorite scary movies of all time. Right beneath it is The Killer Always Comes Back. Essentially, these are movies I can always come back to and rewatch whenever I want, and I can always have a good time with them. They are good movies. Not necessarily S tier, but at least A tier. Right beneath that, I have You're Making Popcorn. These are movies that I can enjoy on some level. If someone says they're popping it in and we're getting some popcorn, we're gonna watch it, I have no problem watching it. I don't hate them. They're good movies. They're just not great movies, so I can deal with them. Right below that is Movies Don't Make Killers. In other words, these movies are not making their killers the best. These ones could be better. They are not the best movies ever. They are ones I could throw on, but essentially, like it says, movies don't make killers. If you were to put great after make, movies don't make great killers, that's it. Right below that is What Do You Want? In other words, these are movies that the whole time I'm sitting there going, my God, how much time do you want from me? Essentially, that's what I'm saying with that one, alright? So yeah, these are movies that aren't all that good, and the whole time I'm sitting there going, what do you want? And then right below it, right there, is What's the Point? And this one's pretty self-explanatory. What's the point? So, with that, all of that out of the way, just remember, this is my tier list. This is not your guys' tier list. This is not the perfect tier list. This is just my tier list. Let me kind of fix my camera a bit. There we go. Alright guys, so starting with the original Scream. Now, this one's kind of tough for me because I grew up watching the first 3 Scream movies. So I have a lot of nostalgia with this one. It's what started it all. It's directed by Wes Craven. Has all of the Trinity characters in it, the OGs. And it is without a doubt what kicked off the slasher franchise or franchises in the early 2000s. So there's a lot of history for it, and it is a classic for a reason. And it's one of the first meta slasher movies we ever got. So, I'm gonna put it up in what's your favorite scary movie? No. Actually, you know, I'm going to put it down in The Killer Always Comes Back. Now, hear me out. This movie is an absolute classic. And the only reason I'm putting it there instead of at the top right there is because there's a movie that I like actually more than the original. So, just hear me out, alright? The original one is a classic, but we'll get there. You'll see. Now, moving on. Scream 2. This is the one I used to watch on repeat. Scream 1, 2, and 3 I used to watch all the time as kids. So I have a lot of nostalgia with Scream 2. Plus, you have like Timothy Olyphant in it. Goodness gracious, you finally get Cotton Wearing having a bit of a storyline of his own in this one. And the Trinity return in this one being Dewey, Sidney, and Gale. And honestly, I think it's, out of the Wes Craven Scream movies, it's one of the more brutal ones. And yeah, I like this one. It's right behind the original Scream for me, at least. Oh man, this is gonna be controversial. So Scream 3, I'm gonna throw it in. Hear me out. Scream 3 is the one where they dive too much into the meta. It would never be down in those categories. right down here, but it just dived too much into the meta and too much into the comedy. I felt like it lost a little bit of what made Scream 1 and 2 so special, and like I said, it dived too much into the comedy. It is the only Scream movie to have one killer, and it does have to get props for that. It is also just so happens to be the one where we get like Sydney dreaming of her mom, which no doubt is a kind of creepy scene, but it's just a little different than the other ones. This is also the one where they go to Hollywood and you get to see all these actors that are playing them, and so it was kind of interesting that way. But like I said, I think they played a little bit up too much to the meta. Dewey and Gail at this point have been broken up and back together multiple times, and so I'd been getting over it for a while, and yeah, so I'm throwing Scream 3 in movies don't make killers. Sorry if that offends anybody. Now next is Scream 4. Now this is the one I said would be a controversial pick. This is going right up into what's your favorite scary movie. Now the reason I'm putting it there is because Scream 4, all the other ones I wasn't alive, or old enough. Either I wasn't alive or I wasn't old enough to either see them in theaters or, have the hype of them coming out, any of that stuff. Scream 4 was the first movie I did get to experience that with. And for that reason, and plus I remember when it came out on Redbox on DVD. God, how many of you guys remember Redbox? Me and my cousins went out, rented it, and we all watched it together. So maybe this is nostalgia bias here, but I had a lot of good time with Scream 4. A lot of great performances in there from Emma Roberts is one of the killers. The other Culkin brother plays one of them. This is also the first movie that we got Kirby in. So I have to throw this one in. What's your favorite scary movie? Plus, that opening scene is incredible. I love that opening scene. So yeah, it's going right up into what's your favorite scary movie. All right, and now, yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia with that one. So that, and honestly, it's probably the best Ghostface it's one of the best Ghostfaces that there's ever been. Next is Scream 5. Now, this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but the killer always comes back. Now, notice I did put it behind Scream 1 and 2. I do not think it is better than those two, but I do think it is around the same ballpark as those two. I love Jack Quaid and Mickey Madsen's performances as the Ghostfaces. I think they did really good. I like a lot of the new characters that are introduced in this one. It's the first Scream movie that wasn't directed by Wes Craven. You also get Jenna Ortega, and this is also the one that we got Melissa Barrera from Abigail and other movies. So I liked her and Jenna Ortega's chemistry. A lot of great new cast members, as well as the death of Dewey. Now, a lot of people freak out over his death. Because of the girl that I mentioned earlier, Mickey Madsen, who is the one who supposedly killed him, and the way that she killed him, there's no way a girl could have done that. But overall, I thought this was a great return to form. We got our original OG characters coming back as mostly cameos, except for Dewey, and it felt like this movie had balls. It actually had the balls to go the distance and kill off one of the OG characters. I mean, they've been hinting at killing off Dewey since the first movie. And then they killed him, teased that they were going to kill him in the second movie. And then they teased that he was going to die in the fourth movie. It's just, it felt like the right kill, as much as I would have preferred to see Gail die. But what can you do? So yeah, that goes right up into the killer always comes back. Now, the next one, Scream 6, goes into you're making popcorn. Now, I do like this movie. I really do. I think Ghostface is probably at his most violent in this movie. You get Jenna Ortega and Melissa. Oh my goodness. and Melissa returning, but their chemistry is brilliant. Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. You also get Mason Gooding coming back. And this is also when Kirby comes back as well. Now, we don't get to see Sidney Prescott in this one, but we do get to see Gale Weathers in this one, and that was kind of refreshing to see. As much as I think this movie's flawed, especially by the third act, when the killers are revealed, I think they ran into a lot of issues there. The main guy, Jack Quaid, the guy who's playing Jack Quaid's dad, I think his performance, once it's revealed he's the killer, is very lackluster and over the top. It's also very predictable. Now, like I said, the kills in this movie, absolutely great. They're brilliant. They're very brutal, and I love it when Scream decides to go all out and actually make the kills as brutal as possible. And in this movie, it felt like Ghostface just didn't give a shit. He was killing them, trying to kill him in a gas station with a shotgun. I mean, I loved the action set pieces and the kill set pieces in this Scream movie. It just kind of fell apart in the story, especially in the third act. So that would be my biggest criticism, but I do not think it's as bad as Scream 3. I don't think it went too silly or went too meta. It just kind of fell apart in the third act. If they had landed that, I think it would have been a far better movie. So that is my tier ranking of the Scream franchise. Remember, guys, this is just my ranking. This is not, the be-all, end-all ranking. It is just my ranking. And I would love to see your guys'. So I will leave a link to the tier list I created down in the description below if you guys want to go and make your own tier list of the Scream franchise and show me what you guys think of it. And yeah, I would love to see what you guys would rank them as. But with all that said, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. I know this video is very, very short, but I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll be completely transparent. So I recorded or tried recording the webcam that you guys are watching me right now on, as well as screen recording me putting the movie pictures into their tiers. Now, when I went back, when I ended all the recordings and the audio recording worked, the screen recording worked, but the webcam recording didn't. So I actually had to record this and then watch my screen recording. So if at some parts I was kind of pausing this because I was trying to keep up with it, but I'm being completely transparent. But that is my ranking, and that is how I would rank those films, for sure. I don't understand a lot of the hate that Scream 5 gets in particular, but I like Scream 5 and Scream 6 a great deal, actually. So anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys like this video, please do be sure to hit that like button for me. It would mean the world to me. If you guys are new to my channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Click that bell to be notified on future videos, and leave your best comment down in the comment section below. And check the description for links to Autumn Falls, to the tier list, and to other channel friends of mine. And share this video to all of your friends and family. With all that said, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.